legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I've got the lightning inside me. Oh, just you watch. This is how legends are made. I'm like a titan that's rising. Oh, just you watch. This is how legends are made.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network here on True Sim Productions. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here tonight. We are ready for race number 2 of the All-Star Racing League, Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Late Model Series. Race number 2 of their season here at New Smyrna. I'm joined by my co-host, Connor Osborne. I am Winston Deal. Going to be making the calls here tonight. Connor, last week, Rockingham season opener, an action-packed race, and we finished it off with a photo finish. What are you expecting coming into New Smyrna here tonight?
Honestly, I expect the same things out of these guys. You know, they're fast, talented, and we got a couple of new guys joining the league this week, and one of those guys being Justin Brooks, who sits top of the board in your practice session here at New Smyrna Speedway. You know, this place puts on really good racing as with these cars. That's for sure, and I'm excited to see what kind of show they'll put on for the fans tonight.
Yeah, and as we were joining into the session, we were looking at some of the I ratings of the guys in here, and you mentioned Justin Brooks with 10,000 I rating. That speaks a lot, and obviously he's top of the board right now by a pretty good amount, so he should be one to watch out for as we get further into the night.
Yeah, no doubt. There's not many people that can say they have 10,000 I rated. That is for sure.
Yeah, most can say they have 4 digits, but not quite 5. 5 is pretty crazy, but Justin he's a good guy. He does a lot of wraps for the late model stock community, as you see right there. Justin Brooks designs all over the hood of that Cadillac.
Definitely a very known guy for these cars.
Yeah, 100%. But no shock to see Justin Brooks right there. But right there in second place, last season's champion, Brandon Elvis, looking to rebound after a pretty rough start to the season in week 1. We got about 4 minutes left in practice. A couple of other names up in the top 5. Chase Robertson in the 31 machine. Brian Voss, who finished 3rd last week. And then, of course, last week's winner, Brian Zimmerman, in the 28 machine. He's sitting in the top 5 coming into tonight.
Yeah, as practice winds down here, Justin Brooks being the only guy in the 4s with a 17.45, and Brandon Elvis in that second position with the 17.588 being the closest to your top of the board for today. As with these cars, Winston, do you think with this track in Rockingham, does lap position really matter here as much as it did at Rockingham?
I think track position is going to be a big factor coming into tonight. Last week at Rockingham, I think it was a little bit easier to pass than we initially gave it credit. People were making moves, and going forward, we saw Brandon Elvis make a climb through the field late after some early trouble there. He was able to work his way back up into the top 5 before that final incident. But tonight, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because obviously New Smyrna, in comparison to the super late model, New Smyrna is a pretty hard track to pass at as it is. But then when you throw in the crate motors and how close we've seen these cars race, it's going to be a pretty treacherous time passing tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. 1 and 2, you can kind of run a little high if you want to. Definitely, you can also run the bottom, but in 3 and 4, the bottom is definitely where you want to be in those 2 sets of corners. But 1 and 2, you can really run. I mean, if you're by yourself, you can run the middle. but when you're side by side, I personally think the top's where you want to be in these cars.
Yeah,
If you're,
it's kind of weird. Um, the middle, these kind of cars. You really just try to roll that momentum, and the middle kind of cut line, you kind of want to cut it off the corner so your nose is pointed straight. That's what's going to be successful here tonight. And anybody who can keep the momentum spooled up with these crate motors and these late model stocks, that's probably going to be one of the keys to success here tonight.
as we were winding down practice here with 2 minutes left, Justin Brooks still sits at the top of the board with a 17.495, as I speaked on a few minutes ago. Winston, he's on rails.
Yeah, he's about a tenth quicker than the field, and if you look on the left side, it's pretty close, all the way to about 18th where it starts to fall off a little bit. But it's all right there. I mean, the numbers just go in order basically down the left side. But we're gonna pull up the points from last week really quick, so you guys can see what it's looking like coming into tonight. Obviously, Brian Zimmerman in the 28 machine. He's going to be atop of these point standings after that exciting week 1 finish over the guy in second place, Jonathan Atkins. Brian Voss third after his finish, and you see the rest of the field right there. But one thing I do want to point out, Justin Coleman and Brandon Elvis involved in that late caution. They're going to be hurting as far as points go. They're back 40 points already from race number 1, but those two very talented and should be able to make up that gap throughout the season. It should be exciting to see them try. As we got about 45 left in practice, some guys still trying to make some final adjustments. Justin Coleman in the 14 machine, he's sitting back in the 15th spot right now. I'm sure he'd like to be maybe a little bit closer to the top spot on the grid, but obviously practice, not that big of a deal. Qualifying will be, as we are just shy of it, 20 seconds. We will be getting a word from our fast qualifier, whoever that may be. We know Brian Voss, our third place finisher last week, qualified on the pole for the Rockingham race and led the majority of that beginning portion of the race, Connor, and made a pit strategy, or made a pit stop, and some strategy went down, and he inevitably lost the lead right there. But he was battling in the end, just couldn't grab that win. Ended up in the third spot though. But qualifying begins. Connor, who's your pick for the top spot?
I'm gonna have to, keep my pick with Justin Brooks. He stayed top of the board in practice, was a 10th faster than the second place car, and I don't think it's gonna change.
All right, you're going there. I'm gonna go with old reliable Brian Voss. He's been quick in qualifying since I started broadcasting the All-Star Racing League. We'll see which one goes to the top. It could be a 1 and 2 situation. But we'll take a look at Justin Brooks going through turns 3 and 4 here, scrubbing the tires up. Gonna try and get a good run off of the corner. And he'll see the green, a pretty unique color there. It's one of my favorite colors for these short track cars, and I just love that teal and like kind of baby blue color. He's scrubbing the tires down the backstretch on lap number 1. Just got to get as much heat in them as he can. So lap 1 for Justin Brooks, maybe not going to be the money lap. He'll be scored in the 8th spot out of 8 right now. As he heads down the back, we'll see if this strategy to keep the tires warm plays off for him as he hugs that bottom line. Look at the run he gets through the center of the corner. Justin Brooks out of turns 3 and 4. He's going to go to the top spot, Connor. You were right on for now. A 17.49, pretty similar to what he did in practice.
Fast machine. Justin Brooks got under him, that's for sure. Those guys definitely did a great job.
Yeah, right now we're gonna We're going to take a look here at last week's winner, Brian Zimmerman, in the 28. He ended up just barely edging it out right there at the end over Jonathan Adkins. Brandon Elvis going to go to the second spot on his second lap. But yeah, last week Zimmerman doing a great job at the end, just maintaining that lead. I really thought it was going to be Jonathan Atkins when when they were coming out of turns 3 and 4, but it kind of shocked me. Brian Voss, second time around, is going to go P4. So looks like you won the battle between us two. We'll see what Brian Zimmerman has off of turns 3 and 4. Kind of washed up the racetrack a little bit there off the bottom. And lap 2 for him. Going to slow it down, so he's going to be in the 12th spot right now. Justin Coleman as well. He's working his second lap. That's a pretty good first lap for Justin Coleman. We'll see if he can pick it up on the second one. Lap number 2 for Coleman. Going to go a little bit quicker. He's going to jump up into the second spot. So it's an ECR, second and third for right now. A couple other drivers still left to take time. One of those is Chase Robertson in the 31. He was in the top 5 in practice. We'll see what he can do on lap number 2. Kind of pushed up a little bit up there out of 4. Lap number 2 is going to be a 17:59. So the 31 machine will be in that 4th spot. We'll grab a word from our fast qualifier, Justin Brooks, here in just a second. And we will return here with coverage on True Sim Productions. I am Winston Neal from the WD Broadcasting Network, and we will return shortly when we're going green. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions, getting ready to go. We're going to grab a word from our fast qualifier, Justin Brooks, really quickly. See if we can find him here. There he is. Justin Brooks, you got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4. What's going on?
You duplicated your qualifying or practice time pretty well there in qualifying. Went pretty similar times. You were able to keep it consistent, well ahead of the field, about a 10th there. The difference. What can you do to keep that gap throughout this race?
Just manage, save tires is the name of the game. I'm just going to try to keep it up front, but just run hard enough of a pace to stay in front of everybody else, because I know how to save tires pretty good. If I can do that and just have the clean air, I think that's all that matters.
Alrighty, well, sounds like you have a good plan going into tonight's race. We wish you luck, and maybe we can talk to you later on.
Yep, thank you, buddy.
Alrighty. That was Justin Brooks going to be rolling off from the first spot here tonight. And his outside, he's going to have Justin Coleman, the ECR number 14. Connor, take us away in row 2.
Row 2 on the inside, we have Brandon Elvis in that 54 machine, and to his outside is Chase Robertson.
Row number 3 is going to be Alex Harris down low in the 13, Brian Voss in the 55 up top. Back behind them, Dalton Creech in the 36, and then it's going to be Tim Trowbridge in the 74.
Ninth position, we'll go to Caleb Tomlinson. Wow.
Thompson.
And then Thompson, yeah. Zach Murphy to his outside. Daniel Sweat behind that 04. And then Dale Oakburn in the 12th position. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
We got a bunch of them back behind him, going to lead us to the field. We'll get them accounted for later on in the race, but for right now, Justin Brooks going to lead us through the Mr. All-Time Gaming Restart Zone. We are racing at New Smyrna. Down into turns 1 and 2. We'll watch him go fly by the camera. It's going to be a close battle off of the first set of corners. Justin Coleman not quite ready to give in to Justin Brooks down low. They're going to get battle through turns 3 and 4. A little bit of a checkup there. Looks like Justin Brooks going to be clear and green. Lap number 1 goes to Justin Brooks in the 33.
Yeah, as you see your two teammates, Justin Coleman and Brandon Elvis, they go side by side down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 as they come out. Justin Coleman looking to get the edge. Yes, give the position to Justin Coleman.
Yeah, he's going to keep that second spot. Elvis down low, way up in turns 1 and 2 is the 31 of Chase Robertson. He got way up the racetrack. No contact, but that's going to open the door for Brian Voss in the 55. Remember, he finished 3rd last week. He's looking to repeat that this week, maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, no doubt. As they go down the backstretch, Chase Robertson, Brian Voss look to battle, but Chase Robinson on the top side will clear himself down to turns 3 and 4 as they start to file out. As we are 5 laps in out of 100.
Yeah, it'll be 5 in, 95 to go when they see the stripe this time. Everybody kind of single filing out as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Nobody really ready to push the issue quite yet. Brooks has got a couple car lengths as they are really bumper to bumper for 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, it's Chase Robinson. It gives Brandon Elvis a shot in the shorts as they go down the backstretch. Enter turns 3 and 4. Chase Robinson looking to the inside of that 54 machine of Brandon Elvis as they go down to turns 1 and 2. Chase Robinson looking to get a run off the corner. Doesn't complete it as Brian Voss will sneak in the inside of that 31 machine as they come down the front stretch as Chase Robinson holds off the position as he files back in. Still looking for that P3 position is Brandon Elvis.
Yeah, they're battling good up front. They're kind of in and out, but nobody's really made a complete pass. You know, everybody's able to get that run. Here comes Chase Robertson. Thought better of it, tucked back in line, but nobody's really able to drive up and around so far. Obviously, everybody not quite ready to push the issue.
Now, as we still are early on, as we start to see not many battles going on throughout the whole field. As for your leader, Justin Brooks. Clear air in front of him. Justin Coleman not giving him much breathing room behind him. As I say that, the gap only about 2/10 as they go down the backstretch. But as of right now, filing out, not much battling going on, but I'm sure it'll start to spark up here soon.
Yeah, there was contact for about the 11th spot. Dale Ogburn, Matt Cox maybe got sideways off of turns 3 and 4. Looks like everybody was able to drive away from it, but Matt Cox lost a couple positions in the 51 machine. Looks like he gathered it up. Not any damage. I saw him scrape the outside wall. Is up front. Chase Robertson able to get around Brandon Elvis in the 54. Able to split up the ECR duo right there.
And Chase didn't make it easy on him as they came out of their turns 3 and 4, and Chase gave him a little shot for that third position as they go down the front stretch. But as of right now, as for Chase Robinson, he's sitting in a nice podium position. As Brandon Elvis will settle in here. As we're only 14 laps in, you know, this is a long race, Winston. What do you think? You know, tire strategy. What do you think these guys are on? You think they're on the same as when it comes to the teammates, or when the leader goes, you go? You know, what do you think?
If it's me and if I'm not the leader, I'm following the leader. Justin Brooks in the 33's got good pace right now. Somebody made their way down pit road. I believe it's Jonathan Adkins in the 17. Oh, I believe he might have missed the start. Yeah, I think he missed the start. Maybe, yeah, he's down several laps, so 16 down for Jonathan Atkins. Not a good start to his race, but back to the tire strategy. I'm going to follow the leader, and I'm going to make sure that I'm at least giving myself a chance to be close. I don't want to have, say, newer tires than him, or I mean, older tires than him. But if you could overcut that, find a way to, that'd probably be your best bet, is to try to set yourself up with newer tires than the leader at the end.
Yeah, as we start speaking about tire strategies, Chase Robinson looking to make something happen for that second position of Justin Coleman in that 14 car. He's really charged to the front. As on paper, he started in that, you know, that fourth position. He's already up one spot, looking for more.
Yeah, the 31 machine definitely setting some pretty good pace here early on as we go on board with the 31 of Robertson. You see the different lines right there in turns 1 and 2. Coleman kind of up the racetrack a little bit. Brooks and Robertson both in that middle groove. Once again into 3 and 4. Coleman up a little bit. Brooks and Robertson down low. New Smyrna is a fun track because, you know, there's a lot of different lines, and it makes for some good racing because different guys are fast in different sections of the track, and their cars are better in different spots in the corner, and it just makes for really good close racing. As we are 20 laps in of our 100 scheduled. Brooks is your leader. Coleman second, Robertson third, Brandon Elvis fourth. Your top 5 is Brian Voss.
As they go down the back stretches, they start to fan out a little bit. But as for Brian Voss, he started in that 6th position. You see, he's up to 5th, looking for 4th of Brennan Elvis. But Brennan Elvis not really pushing too much on that 54 machine, as he's back only 1 spot, but looking to go down 1 more.
Yeah, I think track position is going to be a big deal, and we haven't really seen which lane is going to be better as far as on the restarts. We've only had that initial start where everybody wasn't really pushing the issue, so we'll have to see which lane is going to be the more dominant lane when racing side by side. But I think track position and where you are on maybe a late restart is going to play a big factor in this one. So head down the back straightaway. We will be a quarter of the way in this time by. Sorry for cutting you off. You can continue, Connor.
I was just going to say how, you know, as you talked about the different lines these guys are running, Chase is running a little bit lower than Justin Coleman, but Justin Coleman running that high line, he will get the run off and leave Chase Robinson in his dust. But as we are 25 in, about a quarter of the way through, not much action going on with these guys, but we are still very early on in this race.
Yeah, the top 9, Connor, kind of pulled away from the top 8, Zach Murphy in the 29. They've got a bit of a gap back to Caleb Thompson in the 04. So there's kind of 2 separate packs going on here, as we have a 21 car field, 23 car field, 21 on the lead lap. Jason Bauer in the 9, the last car on the lead lap, and you see Justin Brooks entering 3 as Bauer goes into 1. So getting a little bit close on lap traffic. The leaders are still pretty close here as Justin Coleman is all over the back bumper of the 33.
Yeah, we got about 3 different packs going on right here. We got Caleb Thompson, we got goodness gracious, Justin Brooks leading that pack, and then As we look back to Caleb Thompson, he leads the pack of 3 with Dale Oakburn and Daniel Sweat as we go back to Matt Cox, as he's 12th position, sitting nice and pretty all by himself. Then we go back to the 32 car of Nick Biddy, as he leads that pack as they come out of turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, they're battling pretty good right there.
They
Zimmerman
are.
takes a look to the inside. Zimmerman's got some front end damage on the 28 machine, and he's leading the points right now coming into tonight with that win last week at Rockingham. Currently sitting in that 14th spot. Not the way you want to start off race number 2 after that initial success, but Zimmerman's a great racer. Ran with him last night in the Crooked Line Racing Super Series. That was a pretty fun race, and me and him were racing side by side. Connor, you were in here, you saw it. We were side by side for 20 laps, and we barely even touched. So Zimmerman, a great racer. I'm sure he's got a plan back here in 14th.
Yeah, Zimmerman definitely shows a lot of respect for these guys. As I say that, he makes contact with Nick Biddy. And Brandon Metler will sneak on the outside of that 32 machine. As they make contact coming off of 3 and 4, give the spot to Brandon Metler.
Yeah, these guys are racing close, and they're racing pretty early, lap 34 out of 100. But we'll go back up front. These guys up front are pretty single-filed out, and we'll talk about the disadvantages of racing early. Obviously, you put more tire or more wear on your tires, and maybe have a little bit less at the end. But if you think about it, Connor, these guys are going to get kind of an insight about how the car is going to race and how you're going to be able to pass. So definitely an advantage to be battling close early on.
Yeah, but it also comes with a cost. Racing hard, way back in the pack, and can cause some cautions and some damage to some guys who wasn't really looking to race as hard as what some guys were running or some guys were racing. But as for the leader, Justin Brooks, not really much competition up front. Hasn't really had any what's to take it? I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, Brooks up front hasn't really had any big challenges from Coleman. He's kind of just sat in line behind him, but Coleman's still right there in the 14 machine. I'm sure he has maybe some speed to make the move, but will he? It's obviously it's a waiting game. It's a game of patience. I'm sure Coleman not quite ready to tip his hat, but he's definitely got some speed in the 14 as we have a caution flag. Mike Horville in the 97 machine. Not quite sure what happened. We'll take a really quick look at it. Return here shortly on the WD Broadcasting Network on True Sim Productions. All right, so here's another look at it. The 97 machine battling with the 21. Looks like some contact on the front stretch. Not quite sure if they how they came together, I should say. We'll grab another look at it really quick from our friends in the Goodyear blimp. Can't quite find it. I'm going to try and get a better look at it here. There we go. Here's a look at it down the front stretch. Sorry about that view right there, folks, trying to get a button set up, but looks like they just came together. Just a battle of real estate. I think the 97 might have came up a little bit, but under yellow for the first time here tonight. And Connor, we're pitting on lap number 41.
As we are, what do you think about the pit strategy at lap 41? Do you like it, or do you think they could have waited on a little bit longer?
I thought they would have waited a little bit more. I thought we would have at least seen the halfway point before we started pitting, but not everybody ready to come down pit road. A couple guys do end up staying out, and a couple guys jumping the gun a little bit. I think only getting 2 tires. One of those being your winner last week, Brian Zimmerman, in the 28.
Yeah, as he jumps to the 3rd position, but as for your leader, Jason Bauer, give that spot to him as he started 21st on the grid. Looking pretty good here, but obviously on those old tires, and definitely curious to see how this restart plays out.
Yeah, only 2 drivers not coming down pit road that time. Ronald Judd, the other in the 21 machine. As I do believe the lights are off on the Bad Company Racing pace car. We are going to be back racing as it's in the hands of Jason Bauer. We are back going. Brandon Metler in the 15 got a good start. He's going to have the advantage into turns 1 and 2 and the lead as they go down the back straightaway. We'll take a look at them. They go past the screen. We do have a yellow flag. Zach Murphy in the 29 machines around. We got a parking lot on the front straightaway. Justin Elvis gets tagged. Ronald Judd in the 21 machine involved. Matt Cox in the 51 rolling away as well. We will take another look at what happened. Not quite sure who got tagged, but we will see in just a second. All right, folks, here's another look at it to see what happened. You see they're heading through turns 3 and 4. Looks like Justin Coleman in the 14 might have checked up there. And Zach Murphy and Justin Brooks go around. Not what Justin Brooks was looking for after leading the majority of this race. But gonna be back under yellow for the 2nd time here tonight. Just shy of halfway. Lap 49 at the stripe right here. As you see, your race leader is Brandon Metler right now. He was able to capitalize on that restart, Connor, and get around Jason Bauer in the 9. Obviously, some strategy going to be played here. Justin Brooks in the 33 machine went around that last caution. He led the majority of that first green, or he led that whole green flag run until they came down pit road on lap 45.
As the lights on the Bad Company Racing pace car are still on, so the Coleman design halfway leader will go to the 15 machine of Brandon Metler. As like you said, Winston, he capitalized on that restart for not going down for tires. And as he will be the shout out for the Coleman design halfway leader, as we were half in, half to go here at New Smyrna Speedway.
Yeah, Metler got a great start there. He did come down pit road on lap 40, but must have taken 2 tires, or obviously taking 2 tires, leapfrogging a majority of the field, bringing Brian Zimmerman in the 28 machine with him as the lights drop on the Bad Company Racing pace car, and we're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
As your front row sits Brandon Metler and Larry Bell as they go down to turns 3 and 4. Door to door, even to even, as the Bad Company Racing pace car will pull off as they go through the restart zone. Is wow, what a Brandon Metler gets a great start on that green flag drop as he looks like he gets shot out of a cannon. As the 2nd place position is up for grabs, as Brian Zimmerman looks like he will capitalize in that 28 machine as they come down to turns 3 and 4. Give the position to Brian Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman going to be scored in the second spot. Back behind him, though, Caleb Thompson, Alex Harris battling good down the back straightaway. We'll watch them go into turns 3 and 4. Everybody battling throughout the field. A couple cars going way up top, out back, but we look back to the battle for the 8th spot. Daniel Sweat, Justin Coleman, Brandon Elvis right in front of them. Looks like Coleman's going to get a big run down the back, be able to clear Daniel Sweat. Here comes Brandon Elvis to the top side of the 0-4. So it's 54 against 0-4. Looks like Elvis is going to take it at the stripe, so give him the 6th spot, but he's got the advantage on the top.
Yeah, as I talked about, that top side really coming in when it comes to, you know, these momentum, and the cars are really based off of momentum. As we look back up front a little bit, as Larry Bell in that 3rd position, battling for that position with that 13 car of Alex Harris as they come down the backstretch. That 43, like I said, Larry Bell, that top side, Winston, that top side's coming in.
Yeah, it is. As here comes Chase Robertson to make it a 3-car race for that 3rd spot. He thought about making it 3 wide. He was kind of squeezing the 13 tight, looking for an opening, but the 43 machine going to be up top and in front of him for now. Here comes Brandon Elvis as well. But the top, Connor, definitely coming into play as we get later into this one. 42 to go next time around.
So Brandon Elvis looking at the top side of that 13 car of Alex Harris as they go down the backstretch. Brandon gets a good run coming to turns 3 and 4, peeking his nose on the inside of that Alex Harris machine as he doesn't really get a good run off of turns 3 and 4, so he will sit back in that 6th position. As Chase Robinson looking for 3rd with Larry Bell as they go down the backstretch. But as for your leader, Brandon Mettler, it looks like that 2-tire strategy really coming into play as he reaches about a half a second lead to your 2nd place car of Brian Zimmerman, who was your last week's winner.
Yeah, the biggest lead we've seen so far tonight, Connor. Brandon Mettler up to a 3/4 of a second lead over Brian Zimmerman in the 28, and then it's another 4/10 of a second back to Chase Robertson in the 31. But definitely opening it up here a little bit is Brandon Mettler. Is still back behind him, battling for that 4th spot. Larry Bell up top in the 43. Here comes Brandon Elvis looking down low. Elvis is going to have the advantage down the front. Kind of the first time we've seen somebody make the move work on the bottom as the 54 slides up in front. He gets turned down the back straightaway. Elvis thought he was clear, and it looked like the 43 might have had a run. So your champion from last season once again struck by bad luck out of turns 1 and 2 that time. We'll take another look and be right back here on True Sim Productions. Alrighty, folks, here's another look at it up off the corner. Looks like Brandon Elvis just came up and Larry Bell was right there with a run. Just kind of a mismatch of where they wanted to be. But back under yellow for a second time. We'll take another look at it from above to see if we can kind of tell the story a little bit better. So here's another look. Yeah, it looks like Elvis just wasn't quite clear, and Larry Bell's front bumper met Brandon Elvis's rear bumper, and they were both around from there. So back under yellow for a 3rd time, and we'll return shortly on True Sim Productions. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions. 67 laps in. It'll be 33 to go at the line. Lights are off on the Bad Company Racing pace car. Connor, we're getting ready to go back racing.
Yeah, and no doubt as they come down the backstretch, Brandon Mettler with the upper hand being able to start this restart. As they come down turns 3 and 4, the Bad Company Racing pace car will take a hard left into pit road as we are green flag here at New Smyrna Speedway. Brandon Mettler, like I said before on that restart prior, he's getting shot out of cannons. They come down to turns 1 and 2. But as for Chase Robinson, he's got places to be as he comes down the backstretch looking to the inside for that first position. Little contact between the two as Brandon Mettler will wash up into turns 3 and 4. But as for Chase Robinson, he will now be your leader. As we are 69 laps in, more contact as they come down the backstretch. Chase Robinson definitely not making any friends coming back up through the field.
Yeah, they are racing really good up front. Still side by side for that top spot. Brandon Mettler not quite ready to give in, but Robertson not giving him too much space there in the 31. He's going to have one more shot at it as they crash down the back straightaway. Looks like Caleb Thompson in the 04 is turned around on the back stretch on the bottom side. So we'll take a really quick look at it. See if we can't figure out what happened. Looks like he was battling with Dalton Creech maybe in the 36. Yeah, looks like Creech might have tagged him coming off of the corner. And he goes around, doesn't collect anybody in the 04, but will be going to the back. He's scored in the 19th spot currently. So we will return shortly. We're going to grab a word from our top spot. Chase Robertson. If we can find him here. There he is. Okay, let's see if we can grab a word from him up in the broadcast booth. Chase Robertson, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Alright, he just took the top spot. 72 laps in. You're going to have 27 to go right there at the stripe. What can you do to hang on to this one and close it out?
Oh, well, after we took tires, we had about 2 or 3 cautions right there. So we really haven't used our tires. So right now I'm just going to go as hard as I can for 25 laps or so. And, yeah.
Alrighty, well, you got people coming from behind. You got hard chargers coming throughout the field. It's going to be a tough one, but sounds like you got a plan to figure it out. Wish you luck.
Thank you, bud.
Alrighty, folks, that was Chase Robertson, your current leader in the 31 machine. Had to make sure I got him back in the right voice channel. Wouldn't want to throw him in with the opposite team. Right now, Connor creeping up on 25 to go. What can guys like Justin Brooks and Brian Voss, who have that speed from qualifying and have shown speed throughout the race, what can they do to charge through the field here, sitting in 7th and 8th?
It's all going to depend on tires. Once these guys have came from way back in the field after, taking 4 tires and coming through the field, it's not going to be easy trying to make their way up to that top position as their tires are probably a lot hotter than, Chase Robinson, as he talked about. Not really having to put many on them with all these cautions, but if we do get a green flag run, it'll definitely be interesting to see what Brian Voss and Justin Brooks can do as they will start side by side in row 4.
Yeah, the lights are off on the Bad Company Racing pace car. Going to be setting them back green with 25 laps to go. It's a Saturday night feature from here. It's going to be a showdown between Chase Robertson and Brandon Mettler. Pace cars off through the Mr. All-Time Gaming Restart Zone. We are back racing with 25 to go. Robertson going to get a great start in the 31, and Mettler's going to have company from Zimmerman behind.
As they come down the back stretch, the 14 car, Justin Coleman, really tubbing on the outside with Brian Zimmerman to his inside as Brian will push up a little bit, trying to get that spot back. But as for that momentum on that top side, Justin Coleman's going to take that 3rd position as they come down 1 and 2 on the backstretch. Justin Coleman gets really high, almost touching the wall a little bit out of turns 1 and 2. But as for Justin Coleman, give that spot to the number 14.
Yeah, Coleman's going to be able to clear out of turns 1 and 2 right here. So move Justin Coleman into the 3rd spot. Chase Robertson in the 31 just set the fastest lap time of the race. So he's doing what he needs to do here. He said he was going to push for the next 25 laps. As the caution flag is out, Matt Cox in the 51 machine is around. Jason Bauer as well in the 9 collected down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Not quite sure what happened. We'll try and see if we can find a view here. Looks like he was battling with Rob Hattenback for the 11th spot. And oh, looks like Brandon Elvis got into the back bumper. And around went the 51, also involved. Nick Biddy in the 32. Jason Bauer in the 9. Sliding in there as well. So under caution once again. So we are coming up on 80 laps in. Connor, Chase Robertson got a great restart. He's running fast lap times. Do you think anybody's going to be able to overtake him here within these last 20 laps?
It all depends on how many green flag runs we get, honestly. You know, Justin Brooks and Brian Voss creeping their way into the top 5. If those guys can get anywhere near your leader, I think it's going to be a really great race for everybody watching on True Sim Productions. But as for your leader, he did make it pretty clear as, you know, to what his game plan was going to be. As he paces through 3 and 4, that car looking really good.
See the 97 car. Mike Corvo getting the lucky dog here. Not going to be quite back up on the lead lap. Matt Cox, the last car on the lead lap in the 51 machine, sitting in the 20th spot. So we have 23 cars, 3 not on the lead lap, and we have 20 racing for 1 spot, and that's the one that the 31 machine is sitting in right now with 19 to go. And, you know, if these restarts start to string out like we saw last week, that might take the chances away from guys like Justin Coleman, Justin Brooks, and Brian Voss, who have showed speed, but so far have not been able to get back up into the top 5.
As the lights are still on the Bad Company Racing pace car. Field will pace for a little bit as we are 83 in, 27 to go. As
18.
Winston, if you're 18, my apologies. Winston,
Next race, we're getting Connor a calculator. Next to
all
the,
right.
we're gonna get you a calculator so you can do these quick maths. But
It's
it looks like the field
out here.
it looks like the field's doubling up coming out of turns 3 and 4. Chase Robertson getting the tires nice and warm, getting ready for what could be the last restart of this race. We got 17 to go, Connor. The lights are off. The stage is set. Coleman in the 14 could be in that money spot, and obviously we saw him race around the 28 machine of Brian Zimmerman. If he gets a good start on the bottom, he could be a threat here with 17 coming to 16 at the line.
As the Bad Company Racing pace car lights are off, and he will take a hard right down pit road as they come down the Mr. All-Time Gaming restart zone, and we are green flag as Chase Robinson gets shot out of cannon once again. Gets a great restart, but as for your second place, Brandon Mettler, he will sneak and file in, but
Oh,
Brian
Coleman
Zimmerman not making it
sideways
easy.
tagged.
Coleman sideways.
They were all kinds of sideways going into turns 3 and 4. Everybody saved it. Justin Coleman shot down the racetrack and went right back up into Justin Brooks. There is big time damage on the 33 machine. Looks like they're going to keep it going. They're going to battle right now for the 4th spot. So we have 14 to go at the line. Robertson is your leader with a gap. Back to Brandon Mettler.
Yeah, Chase Robinson loving the contact behind him because that's one less car he has to worry about as they come down to turns 3 and 4. Justin Coleman will clear himself for that 4th position, but they will file out. So we come down 12 laps to go.
Yeah, 12 to go. Robertson's got a pretty good lead, and if Justin Coleman and Justin Brooks start to battle with each other, which it looks like they're doing, Alex Harris also throwing his hat into the mix in the 13. Everybody battling here close to the top 5, and it's going to be hard for anybody to track down Chase Robertson in the 31, especially with the restart that he got and that he's been getting. It's looking pretty solidified for the 31 machine right now with 11 laps to go.
Yeah, as the field starts to fan out here, and Justin Brooks definitely can tell that damage is definitely playing a factor here, as that car looks to be a little off pace. But as for your leader, Chase Robinson, no worries for him out front, as he has reached his lead out to about a half a second ahead of your second place guy, Brandon Metler, in that 15 car. As we do get a caution.
Yeah, we are yellow out back. Jason Bauer in the 9 machine looks like he's parked down in the grass. I'm going to try and see if we can get a quick look at what happened. Oh, it looks like Dalton Creech and Nick Biddy, they were battling, I believe, for the 10th spot. And looks like Creech came up the racetrack and Biddy was right there. We'll try and get a different look at it here. We'll see if we can get a different look. Right here, yeah, the 36 went 3 wide. Oh, it just comes up the track and they just run out of room right there. So unfortunate break there. But that's going to put us yellow inside 10 to go, Connor. Any strategy calls here late?
No, I think Chase Robinson stays where he's at. You know, he's put a clinic on these guys after, you know, that short green flag run. He reached his lead out to about half a second. And that's definitely what he loves to see behind him. As I'm sure Brandon Metler's car got smaller and smaller in his rearview mirror. But as for Justin Brooks, looks like he will retire that 33 car.
Yeah, I think he pulled it down pit road. The damage from that contact might have knocked the toe out, or, you know, knocked some of the steering out of alignment, as the spotter says on iRacing. But unfortunate, had a lot of speed coming into this race. He saw practice and qualifying. We talked to him earlier tonight. Sounded like he had a plan. Made a pit strategy. Put himself in a further spot back in the field and just got collected in some trouble. But not a bad performance to start off Justin Brooks' season. I'm sure we'll see him back with the Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Late Model Series here soon. But with 5 laps to go, Connor, we're going to be setting him green inside of 5 will be 4 at the line, so it's going to be pretty close to a green-white checkered. What can these guys do to get a better restart and track down Chase Robertson?
I don't want to be that guy, but maybe jumping it. I mean, there's 4 laps to go here coming to the green. It's kind of the only option you really have left, but it also comes with a price, you know, of jumping the start, getting, you know, a black flag or something along those lines. As they will enter turns 3 and 4. Winston, go ahead and take us to green.
Lights are off. Pace car is off. Through the restart zone, we're back racing. Robertson gets a good start, but not as good as we've seen prior. Metler's going to be closer. Is he going to be able to do anything with it? 4 laps to go. Justin Coleman, Brian Zimmerman battling for the 3rd spot down the back straightaway. Looks like Coleman's going to get the advantage in the 14. Here comes Zimmerman looking down low underneath Zach Murphy for the 4th spot. They'll continue to battle as Chase Robertson expands that lead a little bit. 3 laps to go. Oh, caution out back. Daniel Sweat goes around in the 07 machine. Not quite sure what happened. We'll try and get another look. He was battling with Brian Voss and Brandon Elvis. Oh, a little bit of netcode contact, and I think the 07 machine might have checked up, and Brandon Elvis got into the back bumper right there. But nonetheless, under caution here within 5 to go. We'll have a green-white checkered. We will take a quick commercial break and be right back here on True Sim Productions.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here on True Sim Productions. Inside of 3 laps to go. Chase Robertson in the 31. We talked to him about 23 laps ago. He was pretty confident in holding off the field, just had to put good lap times down. He's done that, but he's going to have Justin Coleman lined up behind him in the 14, and he's had some pretty good speed in these closing laps, Connor.
Yeah, all it takes is a good restart as we will get 2 chances at this green-white checkered. All they got to do is keep it clean on the first one. As we talked about Justin Coleman being your championship winner last year?
Second place runner-up, Brandon Elvis,
Second
champ
place
last
runner,
year.
My apologies.
Connor doesn't quite know the lore of the All-Star Racing League as well as I do, but glad to help.
Haven't been here long enough. Haven't
Yeah,
been here long enough.
you'll get to know the drivers, and it'll be a fun time. But right now, lights are off. We're ready to go racing, Connor.
Yeah, as it hasn't been easy for a lot of these guys coming back up through the field after their pit strategies, but Chase Robertson will sit at your first position as they come down the backstretch, and your Bad Company Racing pace car will come down through turns 3 and 4. Lights are off. He will pull off as they go through the Mr. All-Time Gaming restart zone. Chase Robinson gets a good start. Brandon Mettler not letting him sneak away with this one as he will go down to turns 1 and 2. Probably one of the better restarts we've seen out of him, Winston.
Yeah, Mettler got a good restart there in the 15, but he's not close enough yet. He's going to have to get a good run through turns 3 and 4 here and try and set something up down the back straightaway. We have the white flag out. One more lap to go here at New Smyrna. Chase Robertson leading us into turns 1 and 2. They battle for the 3rd spot. Brian Zimmerman, Justin Coleman down the back straightaway. Zimmerman in the 28 machine leads. Field battles into turns 3 and 4 for a final time. Coming up out of the corner, it'll be Chase Robertson winning at New Smyrna. The battle for the 2nd spot. Justin Coleman going to be given the position, the 3rd spot. Justin Coleman given the position. Brandon Mettler coming home 2nd, Coleman in 3rd, and Zimmerman going to be 4th. Dale Ogburn in the 1 machine going to be rounding out your top 5 as we will, cap off the field and get a word from our top 3 competitors here in just one moment as we will return shortly on True Sim Productions. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions. I'm your host, Winston Deal, joined by my friend Connor Osborne, my co-host. We're gonna wrap things up here. First, we're gonna run down through our finishing or our top finishers for tonight. Obviously, coming home with the win, Chase Robertson making that late move on Brandon Mettler. Inside of 30 to go, got that lead, and then took advantage of the restarts from there. Great finish for him. Brandon Mettler in the second spot. Justin Coleman coming home third. Brian Zimmerman coming home fourth in the 28. Dale Ogburn in the 19 coming home fifth. Zach Murphy, Alex Harris, Brian Voss, Caleb Thompson, and Matt Cox in the 51 going to round out your top 10. Connor, you can lead us through the rest of the field.
Larry Bell in your 11th position, and Justin Elvis in that 12th position, and Jason Bauer 13th, Daniel Sweat 14th, and Rionel Judd will be your 15th car, and Brendan Elvis in that 16th position, Dalton Creech in that 36 car, not to having the night he wanted, as he will finish 17th, and Robert Hattenback will finish 18th, and Mike Corvey 19th, and Justin Brooks, obviously, we saw him not have the night he wanted. He goes in that 20th position, 15 laps down, and Nick Biddy, same issue with him, 15 laps down, and is he in the he's wow, my apologies, 21st position, and Jonathan Atkins in that 22nd position, and finally rounding out your lineup is Tim Trowbridge in that 23rd position. As we will get a word from our leader and winner, Chase Robertson.
Yeah, we'll grab a word from our winner first. Let's see if we can grab him up. Chase Robertson, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, we talked to you inside of 30 laps to go. It was a Saturday night feature from there, and a couple cautions back to back, and you were just able to control the restarts and keep that gap. Tell us how your race went.
Yeah, at the start of the race, well, we didn't really put ourselves in a hole on qualifying. Just got tied off of 4. Started 4th. I really wanted to start 2nd or pole because Justin's just really hard guy to beat, and yeah, so we started 4th, and we rode around 3rd a little bit, and we pit. Unfortunately, a wreck happened with Justin, and we restarted 3rd. Took the lead, and just tried to set sail after that.
Yeah, and that you did. You were just able to control those restarts, and obviously had some pretty good pace to go with it as well. And with good pace comes support. Is there anybody that you would like to thank that helped put you in victory lane here tonight?
Yeah, man. I just want to thank Team Zeems for everything they do for me. Just want to thank Justin. He helps me a lot too. And y'all guys for putting this on.
Alrighty, well, great finish for you here tonight. Good run. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was Chase Robertson in the 31 machine. Your winner here tonight, Connor. I'll let you grab a word from Brandon Mettler. We'll bring him up in here and see if he's got a copy. Brandon, you got a copy?
I got you.
Brandon, what a run from starting 17th position. You know, what a race that was. You know, from tire strategy, staying out, maybe getting 2 tires, and coming back from, you know, that 17th position. Not many people can do that, and you were one of them to do it.
Yeah, I'm not really known for good qualifying speed or anything like that in these kind of short track series. And yeah, 2nd place finish after starting 17th, like you said, is a pretty good accomplishment. I don't like to take moral victories, but definitely a moral victory tonight with a good field of really, really competitive drivers. Definitely the highest quality field of drivers I race against at any point in my sim racing stuff. So shout out to everybody else. All in all, good race for me, like I said. Took 2 tires, and I saw the leaders come down the lap after we pit, and I thought it was kind of weird. And obviously a good track position, and these cars are so close sometimes that track position is key. So shout out to everybody else that finished up front tonight. Zimmy was there right behind me, kind of running near me the whole race, and made 2 tires work towards the end compared to everybody else that had really good speed, and we'll take home P2 any day.
Yeah, after being the hard charger and going through some, drama coming up through the field. Anybody would you like to thank to finish this interview off?
Yeah, for sure. Got to thank Band Racing Videos, YouTube and Facebook for all the real life racing videos and stuff on there. Got to thank all of our Five Kings Motorsports teammates and sponsors, EPI, the Bookkicker, Trueston Productions, Savage Edge Apparel, USA Firearms, and all the support that Zimmy gives to the league. And again, to all the admins for putting this thing on. It's race 2 of a very new thing for this league and whatnot. Off to a really good start. A lot of really good drivers, like I said, and the future's really bright for that. And obviously for you guys for giving us a name and an image out there so we can go back and learn from our mistakes and watch a really good race.
That was Brandon Metler, ladies and gentlemen, as he sits in your second position. Good run, Brandon.
Alrighty, folks. Now we're going to grab a word from our third place finisher. If we can find him, don't know where Justin Coleman sits right now. I'm going to see if we can maybe grab him. But nonetheless, Connor, great race here tonight. A lot of good racing and close racing throughout the top 5. It was a lot of it exciting in and out and, really close battling. We saw a little bit of contact and a few cautions there at the end, but regardless, of great showing here from the All-Star Racing League once again.
Yeah, these guys never failed to put on a show. That is for sure, as these guys put one heck of a show on. Not as close of a finish as Rockingham, but definitely nonetheless, these guys definitely put on a show for everybody who's watching at Trueston Productions and everybody tuning into today's broadcast. As looks like we are having difficulties trying to get Justin Coleman to the interview booth.
Yeah, not quite sure. Not quite sure if Justin Coleman was in the interview channel. So gonna pass in the interview for now. If he pops in there, we'll grab a word. But nonetheless, Slinger next week, Connor, gonna be exciting. 125 laps there. It's pretty new to the service still. It's gonna be my first race called there. It's gonna be your first race called there. How you feeling going into it?
Definitely a little nervous as I normally am for these races, but nonetheless, these guys are just gonna put on one heck of a show there. The talent throughout this whole field today and even last week was just unreal, and I don't doubt they're gonna put on one heck of a show.
Yeah, definitely something to look forward to. We have Martinsville the week after that, and Myrtle Beach before we take the All-Star break, which will be a pretty good showing here on True Sim Productions. But nonetheless, to wrap things up here tonight, thank you guys for tuning in and enjoying this this race with us. Glad to bring it to you guys. I am your host, Winston Deal from the WD Broadcasting Network. I'm joined by my co-host, Connor Osborne. We are over on Facebook usually, but we made the switch here to join the All-Star Racing League with the Crooked Line Racing League. So it's all kind of a new deal to me, and I'm glad that everybody's been welcoming and having a lot of fun doing it. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys all next week here on True Sim Productions.